when I think about the beginning of 2018, like, it's crazy to think like where I was then and where I am now, you know. The beginning of 2018, I was still transitioning from a teenager into a 20-year-old. Don't really like cut people off, and I don't feel like I've had many people cut me off. You know, you're not perfect and not everyone's going to like you, and that is okay. Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. You guys are probably looking at the setup thinking like, what is this girl doing surrounded by teddy bears? But like, I'm back in London at my parents' house, and yeah, this is my room at home, honestly. Yeah, so that's that. But yeah, I thought I'd just film a video today on just basically, as the title says, the lessons that I've learned from 2018. And honestly, I think 2018 for me has just been the year where I've learned so much, just so much about myself, about life, and honestly, I thought it would be good for me to kind of just like share the lessons that I've learned. When I kind of reflected on 2018, I was thinking like, wow, like what are the things that I have learned? And obviously there have been many things, but I'm going back to these two things, and the two main lessons I think I learned were about expectations and about self-love. So I thought I kind of filmed this video around those two kind of topics. I don't want to make this a super long intro, so I just want to get straight ahead with this video, so yeah. So honestly, when I think about this year, it's just crazy, because one of the biggest things that I learned this year is the expectations that I have for myself. The expectations I had for myself were just so high that they're no longer becoming motivating, they're actually becoming kind of detrimental to me, and it was starting to affect me in a negative way. I just had to sit back and realise, like, honestly, they're doing me no good. And I know that I've always been that person that's like, you know, a perfectionist, and people told me countless times that you set, you know, expectations that are so high for yourself all the time. And I've always thought like I'm doing that for my own good, and I'm doing that because like I really want to push myself, and I'm such an ambitious person, and like I know when I work really hard I can achieve great things. So I feel like I've always been, you know, trying to push myself, and I did that by always setting such high expectations of myself. It was good at first but then it came to a point that I just felt like I wasn't happy, because it was just like these expectations of myself that it's doing me no good. It's just hard to always have such high expectations, and that kind of stemmed into me having expectations of other people. And then I don't know why it is, but I feel like because people have always told me like you're a really likable person, I think maybe that even got to my head, and I started to have expectations like everyone that I meet is going to like me, basically. And saying it just sounds so big-headed, but I genuinely felt like every person I come across, like they must like me. And it's just like I almost had an expectation for everyone that I came across to like me, and it's just like, well, you know, you're not perfect and not everyone's going to like you, and that is okay. Like, I feel like my character, my values, and who I am as a person, I feel like that shouldn't be validated by whether people like me or not. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's ridiculous, and I feel like that had been my mindset for such a long time, and I felt like, you know, if I'm such a likeable character, everyone I come across must like me, and if everyone likes me, that means like I'm such a good person. And it's just like, you know, that's just not the case, basically. And I feel like, because obviously I've lived my life and I don't really like cut people off, and I don't feel like I've had many people cut me off, if that makes sense, because I just haven't really been that kind of person. So I guess I just had that expectation constantly for people to like me, basically. And it just sounds so ridiculous saying it, but I think I just had expectations for people to, you know, take a liking to me. And when those expectations weren't met, I guess it did affect me in a way. And it's just that constant thing that I have of always trying to like prove myself and like have my character validated and all that kind of silly stuff. Like, I think I saw that so much in 2018, and I just had to sit back and realise like you are like amazing as you are, and honestly like no one should validate your character, and you should be alright in yourself and know that you are a good person. And people can either take a liking to that or they may not, but it's fine regardless. And I think that is something that I really learned in 2018, that, you know, you can be your best you, and you can be amazing, and you can like treat people with the utmost respect, but there's still gonna be people out there that don't like you for whatever reason, and that is fine. And like when I think about it, like Jesus, you know, my Lord and Saviour, he wasn't liked. Not everybody liked Jesus when he was around, like when he was alive, and that led him to die on the cross. And it's like if that hadn't happened, he wouldn't have been able to fulfill his purpose. Do you know what I mean? And his purpose was obviously to save us. So when I think about it that way, it just makes me feel like you just have to let things happen. And honestly, like, people can like you, people may not, but that shouldn't change who you are, and it shouldn't stop you from fulfilling your purpose, you know. And I feel like that's something that I've really been like learning this year, and I think that's something that this year has taught me. I had such high expectations for people in my life, especially the ones that are closest to me. As people, you know, we aren't perfect, do you know what I mean? And people will let you down, and they can let you down. And that just kind of made me think, like, you know, the only one that I should, like, you know, fully not worry about letting me down is God, because he's the one that will never fail me, you know, and he's the one that will always, like, have my back through everything. And yeah, it just kind of made me feel like I can put less pressure on, like, the people in my life, and, like, you know, just give all my burdens and everything to God, and he will, like, always have me, do you know what I mean? Like, he's always got me. So I feel like I learned that. And that's not to say, like, the people in my life have let me down so many times and all this and stuff. It just made me think, like, the expectations that I do have of them, and it's probably because I love them so much, that is why I have expectations for them and of them. I think 2018 kind of humbled me, and it just taught me a lot about expectations. I learned a lot about self-love this year, in a different way than I've ever learned before, because I think I've always seen self-love as something like, you know, like, if I want to empower women, I'm just like, you know, own how you look, you're beautiful, like, own your physical appearance and all that great stuff. And I feel like that is a part of self-love, and that is true, but I kind of, like, neglected an important part of self-love, and that's just that, you know, self-love means putting yourself first and loving yourself enough to do that. And I realised in 2018 I didn't do that. Like, I feel like I was so concerned about, you know, loving other people and making sure, like, they were good and, you know, doing things to make them happy, that I forgot about my own happiness. Basically forget to make myself a priority so many times. And shout out to one of my friends, Abby. I appreciate you so much. And she kind of just sat me down, and she was just like, I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this, but no, she shouldn't, because it's a positive thing. It was kind of just like, you know, you're a people person and you love people, and that's great, but it's time for you to kind of, like, put yourself first and, like, get yourself right and do all of that stuff, and then once you've done that, then you can focus on other people again. And honestly, I'd never seen it in that way, because I just always thought, like, is it selfish of me to kind of, like, care about just myself and what I'm doing and my world, and, like, not pour into other people's? But I feel like she kind of reassured me and, like, said to me that, like, it's okay to kind of, like, work on you and, like, think about you and, like, yourself and making yourself good and everything, and then, like, looking to help others after. And honestly, like, it was so reassuring to hear that, because I feel like most of the time, like, I don't know, it's kind of seen as being selfish, and self-love should allow you to be a bit selfish. And I feel like I just wasn't practicing proper self-love like I was preaching, if that makes sense. And that's just me being honest. Like, I'm so for self-love, and I love the idea of self-love, but was I actually putting it into practice? I don't think so, because I just wasn't doing things fully for me and my well-being and loving myself enough to do that. So I feel like this year I learned a lot about that, and the importance of looking after you and yourself and your well-being. And so shout out to you, Abby, for, like, being such an amazing friend and encourager and supporter. And honestly, this girl, her faith inspires me, like, every day. Like, she's just so encouraging and great, so I rate her highly. But just in general, like, the people in my life that have kind of encouraged me to kind of focus on me and do what's, like, best for me. Like, honestly, I thank you guys so much, and it is so true. Like, your happiness should be the most important thing, because without that, like, everything else, like, doesn't hold any weight. Like, you should be focusing on your own happiness, and that's not to say that you can't be a lover of other people and you can't help other people, encourage other people, but your happiness is so important. And I realised myself, like, you know, if I do want to help other people fulfill their happiness, because genuinely, like, it brings me joy seeing other people happy, and I want other people to be able to fulfill their happiness. But I had to think, like, how can I do that if I myself don't know what happiness looks like? Do you know what I mean? How can I help or encourage other people to kind of work towards that if I myself don't know what that looks like? But yeah, I think 2018 really just put things in perspective for me, and I'm so grateful for this year and for all, you know, the great lessons that I've learned and for all the amazing people I've met. There have been such hard times as well, but as my brother always tells me, like, those hard things and those things that you go through is character building, and I feel like it really has built up my character, and hopefully it's helping me and pushing me in a great direction to become the well-rounded and strong woman that I hope to be. When I think about the beginning of 2018, like, it's crazy to think like where I was then and where I am now, you know. The beginning of 2018, I was still transitioning from a teenager into a 20-year-old, and I was just kind of stepping my foot through the door into this world of 20s and what that was going to entail and what that's going to be about. There's still so much for me to learn. I've got my whole life ahead of me. You know, I just wanted to share like my 2018 and kind of, you know, the lessons that I learned around self-love and expectations, and obviously I learned so many other things as well, but those are the two things that really stuck out to me, and I thought I'd share that. Yeah, I just hope 2019 is a great year for all of us, and I know that I'm going to really be working on myself and my happiness and doing what's right for me and loving myself as much as I can and keeping God at the heart and centre of everything I do, because I feel like that's so important. Yeah, I think 2019 is going to be an amazing year. I hope it's an amazing year for all of you out there, and I hope all of you guys are finding yourselves and loving who you're becoming and doing everything you can to be a blessing and a light in other people's lives as well. I think that's the end of this video. I feel like I've rambled on for quite a while now, so I hope this video makes sense, and I hope you guys got something from it, hopefully, and I hope you kind of just were interested in what I had to say, and that was just me being as honest and as raw as possible, and I feel like it's so important for me to be that, and I feel like that's what I want my YouTube channel to be about. I want it to be about, you know, growth. I want it to be about lessons learned. I want it to be about, you know, honesty, openness and authenticity and, you know, all that great stuff. And I also want it to be fun and entertaining. So I'm just trying to put myself out there to be as real as possible for you guys. Let's make 2019 amazing, and obviously there's more content to come on this channel, so thanks for everyone that's supported me this far, and yes, I appreciate you guys so much. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.